Every year, many folks across central Illinois love to get out on the water, cast a line, and catch some fish. It's a lot of fun, but if we're not careful, we can create a hazard for other wildlife species nearby. Here to help us understand this issue better is the Wildlife Medical Clinic Program Coordinator, Sydney Oliveira, and Manager Tyson Jickens. Welcome.
Hello.
So we've got some stuff here. Talk a little bit about some of these hazards that people should be aware of.
Yeah, so one of the main problems that we see is just improperly discarded fishing line. This looks like good nesting material for songbirds, so they'll gather it up, use it in their nests, and then they can get tangled in it, or their young can get tangled in it. Canada geese can get tangled in it, and then they can't walk. It's always good to properly discard your line. A lot of fishing places will have vestibules, receptacles for that, or pack it out, take it with you.
Put it in the tackle box, stuff it in your, I mean, it's really, it's light, it squishes down, you can take care of that nice and easy. And that makes, I didn't think about that though, birds thinking it was nesting material. Is that mostly what we're talking about here? Is it birds that tend to be the primary victim of birds, fishing hazards?
Well, and some reptiles, a lot of turtles also.
Oh, really?
So a lot
Turtles
of the times these fishing lines have hooks in them too. Or if you have like these different lures that look like a food item, so that turtle goes after that and then the hook gets stuck in there.
It looks like a fish and maybe smells like a fish.
Yep.
They might think it is a fish.
Exactly. So.
Okay. So what are some of the precautions that we should maybe talk about when going fishing? Things that we could just be aware of. I know you guys sent over a list of things. One of the ones I noticed on the top was don't feed the birds. How come that is?
So when you're feeding birds, you're kind of on the shoreline and you're causing them to gather in areas where it's more likely for fishing line and hooks to either get tangled or wash up. So you want to keep them away. It's never good to feed wildlife, but you don't want to draw them to an area where they could get hurt regardless.
Or train them to be like used to like, oh, the fishermen are here, I'm going to go eat.
Right.
Awesome. What else do we got?
Yeah, so we also had a few other items, such as not casting towards vegetation too. So a lot of that, this line can get stuck in that vegetation, and then the birds, as they're foraging, can get it stuck around their neck, their leg, anything like that. Yeah, a few others up there.
And then if you do catch a fish, I see there on the screen that don't just throw if the fish died or if you're getting rid of it, don't just throw it back in the water.
Right. Yep, so you want to take that with, especially anything that has a hook in it like that. So.
Okay.
And if you're leaving your bait out like that as well, there are some bold birds such as like cormorants, pelicans, gulls, so they'll come up and you're kind of habituating them again, like if you're leaving that food out for them to get. So that's why we say cover the bait as well. So.
Okay, so here's a question. If you are fishing and you cast a line and you catch a bird or you catch a turtle, do you just cut that line and let them go, or what do you guys recommend?
So you don't want to cut it because they obviously have a hook in them. They're injured. So best thing to do is to gather everything up and bring them to us. If the line is too long that they're getting tangled in things as you're bringing them, then you can cut it, but don't let them go. You still want to bring them into us or a licensed wildlife rehabilitator to make sure they're okay.
Because, you know, with fishing hooks, like they're sharp, they pierce, and it may look like they're okay, but there could be internal damage.
They can sink real deep.
Yeah, and sometimes too feather loss as well.
Really?
So when they get tangled in the fishing line, it'll pull and it pulls their feathers out too, so then they have problems flying as well. So.
Which can affect everything from how they eat to how they live, or maybe they become more available to predators.
Exactly.
Super interesting. Well, listen, if you want more information, the U of I Wildlife Medical Clinic has all the tips and tricks. We'll have those on our website and information on the Wildlife Medical Clinic. We're going to connect you at ciLiving.tv after today's show.